Hey y'all, it's your girl Stephanie. This is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. It's been a little over a month since my last posting, and a lot of wrestling has taken place, and a whole lot of shit has gone down. But over here on my end, life happens, and that comes before all of the other stuff. Almost finished this program. I'm coming down to the wire, so the pressure's on. So it's a lot more work, of course. My boy started 6th grade, so he's enjoying that. What else we got going on? Everything seems to be going well. It's still a pandemic. Still got my face mask on. Never took it off. What else we got going on? And I just had some downtime before I dive back in to just, shoot y'all a couple podcasts real quick before I dip on back out. So once again, this is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Make sure you thumbs up this video. Make sure you subscribe. Still trying to build. I know once I get through with this program, I can really dive in and do the things I want to do to elevate this. Anyway, follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Those two links are in the banner on this page. So what we talking about? You see the thumbnail. Listen, I try to enjoy wrestling. I was looking at WoW a couple days ago. It was some decent wrestling over there. I could sit here and go in on WoW and Jenny Buss and that whole fallout with what's her name, Crimson Chin. But that's another podcast for another day. I've been watching WoW. Good, decent wrestling. I even tuned into Impact because now I have Sling, and Sling has what is that? The Access. So Impact comes on Thursdays, and then they have like old episode stuff. And I was watching Impact on Pluto because Impact has a station on Pluto. The Pluto app, if you aren't familiar, free stuff on there. They have a station on Pluto, so I be getting all that classic Impact wrestling, real good wrestling. This past weekend, September 2nd, was Clash at the Castle, and then it was Clash of the Titles or some shit over in NXT, which I didn't get into yet. I do want to watch that, but I did see some clips, and Ricochet and Carmelo. I love looking at Carmelo. That's a fine young man. They had a decent match, or whatever the case may be. They had those two matches, those two pay-per-views going on over on Peacock. And on the other end, we had AEW, and they had a pay-per-view that was $50. First of all, that's the first downfall, because I'm not spending $50 on anything. And I got Peacock for the rest of the year for $1.99. So I got to see whatever the fuck I want on Peacock. They have a huge library, even though the database interface, or whatever the fuck you call it, is terrible. And premium content over at WWE for $2. And you know, if you do WWE, the first 30 days is free. So there you go. When you compare that to $50 pay-per-view, and it was like, what, 6 hours, y'all said? It was like 11 matches on the card. I did pop in because I got a link, because I'm not paying for that. So I got a link, and I got to see the Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed, and it was a fun match. And then I popped out. So since all that has gone down, there's been an explosion on the internet. Now, this is about AEW. This is about where AEW is at the moment. And it's not in a good place. Their matches have not captivated me. I'm not interested in sitting and watching it. I don't watch Dark. They have Being the Elite on YouTube, which is like a soap opera. And it's supposed to tie into what goes on Dynamite and the show that comes Rampage. But if you don't watch that, then you're lost in the sauce as to why people are fighting each other. There's entirely too many fucking belts on that show. But for some reason, there's not enough space for the whole roster of 300 people because they only have 3 hours of TV. And when I say 3 hours of TV, they have 2 hours of Dynamite and 1 hour of Rampage. While WWE has 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown. They have their own WWE network, Okay, they have a deal with A&E, so you get more WWE. Like they on Hulu, so you got Main Event over there. Like it's so many places you can get WWE, that if your favorite's not on Raw and your favorite's not on SmackDown, your favorite's probably gonna be over there on what you call Main Event. That's not even adding. NXT is 2 hours, so they have 7 hours of television. So if you can't see Ricochet, for example, on SmackDown or Raw or Main Event, he's going to end up on NXT. Tony Khan has 300 wrestlers, 3 hours worth of television, and it's on a cable network. WWE has Fox. So if you don't want to pay for USA, you can get your daily dose of 2 hours of WWE on free. It's free. Outside of cable, those are free over the air. Fox, on your local Fox News network. Fox Network, excuse me. So with that being said, let's talk CM Punk, okay? The way y'all acted when CM Punk showed up on the scene, the guy was crying in the audience, everybody was murmuring this, they was talking about it. It was a big deal. It was going to excite and ignite wrestling. Where's CM Punk? Where's CM Punk? When he was over there on doing he was on Fox Sports 1 doing a WWE type situation. It was CM Punk coming back to WWE. No, he did not. When he was over here doing independent wrestling, it was CM Punk showing up on AEW. CM Punk was the flavor of the month. I even had a podcast, which I didn't post, about why the fuck are y'all so obsessed with this man. He showed up on AEW, I want to say, I believe it was Dynamite. Pop lasts for days. Dude crying in the audience. That was in August of 2021. And here we are, September of 2022, and this man just imploded. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, she's a WWE enthusiast and she's the type of shit she like. No, I don't. I think AEW's presence has made WWE somewhat better. And since then, Vince McMahon, and that's the last post I made, he stepped down and everything. And Triple H right now is in a honeymoon period where whatever he does, everyone's going to love it. They're going to find things that they think is new and fresh. And Braun Strowman has returned, and I'm just completely disgusted about that. So, in any case, CM Punk went to AEW. That was supposed to set the division off, get people over. He claimed he wanted to work with the young guys. He wanted to do all this great stuff. I came back specifically so you can stop asking me when I'll come back, he said. Timing is everything. I got a lot of other stuff going on. AEW looks like an exciting, fun place that enables me to rekindle my love for professional wrestling, but also continue to do my MMA broadcasting, continue to act in TV and movies, and do a couple other things that the world will find out come November and October. That was last year, so I don't know what happened with that. Perfect storm, man. An offer I can refuse. People I want to work with. Friendly environment. Tremendous backstage area. Just everything that reminded me of why I got into professional wrestling in the first place. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm having difficulty reading here. It's late. I'm usually in bed right now. So last year, August, he came back. He said AEW had a friendly environment, tremendous backstage area, everything that reminded him of why he got into professional wrestling in the first place. And then we fast forward here and everybody's dicks, pricks, and fucking losers and childish, and he's above it all. There's a part in this media scrum, and I really hate that word, where CM Punk was lashing out at Adam Page. I don't really care about the Colt Cabana shit because that's some old shit, and he keep bringing that up because some dude was sitting in the audience and reminded him of Colt Cabana and just jarred his memory. He just went fucking nuts. Anyway, there's a article that I found in Inside the Ropes where Adam Page, and this is from August 17th, Adam Page sat down and he said he's not sure he needs to take advice from some of the wrestling veterans and coaches at All Elite Wrestling, okay? Adam Page ascended to the top of AEW when he captured the AEW World Championship from Kenny Omega. Prior to that, Page held the AEW Tag Team Championships with Omega and had been a part of the Elite Group and AEW has coaches working backstage such as Billy Gunn, Madison Rayne, who just came on, Pat Buck, Jerry Lynn, Arn Anderson, and the company also boasts legends such as Sting, Jim Ross, Chris Jericho, and William Regal, meaning there's no shortage of experience for young stars to benefit from. Speaking with GalaxyCon, Adam Page admitted that he's not someone that seeks advice from these colleagues and questions if, given his success, he needs to listen to them. This is what Adam Page said. Oh boy, I don't know. I'm stubborn. I don't take advice. It's a good question. And that's probably the honest answer. I listen to people say things, but very rarely do I listen hard. I was part of the movement that created the entire company, and I'm a world champion. I don't know that I need their advice. I'll certainly listen, but there's something to be said about trial and error and doing it on your own. I take more pride in that. Adam Page rebuffed the chance to be a part of the AEW Trios tournament with the Young Bucks, meaning they do have to find a partner. Now, we already know what happened with that, right? So this is what Adam Page said. And this is somehow rubbed CM Punk the wrong way, because from the way CM Punk is talking, I think he feels like he's supposed to be like a backstage general, and he's supposed to be like a big brother, and everybody's supposed to come to him and get information and want to know more about the business and all this. Adam Page wants to do things on a trial and error. I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, there is a risk doing things in a trial and error fashion, but if this is something that this man operates on and he likes doing it on his own and he gets pride from that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see why you're calling him a dick and idiots and all this fucking stuff because you think he's supposed to do what you want him to do. That's bizarre to me. So CM Punk responded at this scrum where he wanted to address Adam Page for saying that he doesn't want to ask or take advice from the people in the back. And he said, we have a locker room full of pretty brilliant minds. He said, Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, Mark Henry, and he said, when I came back and I cut a promo, I thought it was pretty decent. Okay? He said, I don't really take advice. He said, but our locker room, for all the wisdom and brilliance it has, isn't worth shit when you have an empty-headed idiot who's never done anything in the business to do public interviews and say, hey, I don't really take advice. That's not what he said. What Adam Page says is, I don't know that I need their advice. I'll certainly listen, but there's something to be said about trial and error and doing it on our own. I'll take more pride in that. That's what he said. He said, CM Punk said, who the fuck do you think you are? You know, that's stupid. I'm on a team with Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, and Sammy Sosa. First of all, I don't know who's taking advice from Sammy Sosa, considering he bleached the fuck out of his skin. So his advice is a little bit weird. Isn't Mark McGuire like some type of roid head? Didn't he get his hits from shooting up steroids? And Barry Bonds has an asterisk by his name for shooting up steroids too. So do you really want them to teach you or give you advice on swinging? I don't know if that was a good analogy, but whatever. CM Punk went on to say, I don't need to work on my swing. I'm not going to listen to these guys going to tell me how to swing a baseball. Fucking go fuck yourself. That's how I feel about it. I dare you to say that to Terry Funk's face. I don't need to listen to you, Mr. Funk. I know what I'm doing. Grow the fuck up. First of all, Adam Page doesn't wrestle like Terry Funk, so I don't think he's going to be asking Terry Funk for any advice. CM Punk is going to ask Terry Funk for advice. If Terry Funk is even standing up and talking, because the way this man wrestles is absolutely insane. There's also Jake the Snake Roberts back there. I mean, there's actually too many fucking guys in AEW that you can ask advice from. But motherfuckers want to learn on their own. I don't see why that was an issue, and I think that was absolutely ridiculous that was a point of contention for CM Punk. And honestly, I think CM Punk thinks that people are supposed to come and ask him for fucking advice, because he's coming in with this lore that he's like this monster. I took down WWE. I did the pipe bomb 7 years ago, and here I am. I'm back. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it was just like, I don't know. It didn't look good. Tony Khan sitting there looking like a bug-eyed fool didn't help the situation at all. And that's another topic we'll discuss, because Tony Khan went on this tirade that had absolutely nothing to do with shit. It was unnecessary. And I'm just wondering, you did all that talking about how much money you got. Why didn't you stop CM Punk when he was running his fucking mouth? Is it because you hugging on the motherfucker and you just so excited that he's there and you making a little bit of return on your daddy's billions? You look terrible, and CM Punk looked terrible. And if this is the thing that y'all do in order to gain interest in your show, I'm the type of fan that doesn't turn me on. All of this anger and all of this confusion and shit y'all talking about that I have no idea what the fuck is going on doesn't turn me on. It doesn't want me. I don't want to turn it and watch AEW Dynamite knowing all y'all backstage business and shit. The mystique and the veil is gone. The honeymoon is over. Now y'all had to come back, strip him of the titles, do all this new shit, try to do a soft reset or reset the situation. Because everyone, let's be honest here, everyone said CM Punk is gonna do this shit eventually. And the people that put their bets on it are getting the payout. CM Punk said, I'm old, I'm hurt, and I'm fucking tired. That is the mantra of the day. CM Punk is only 44 years old. I wouldn't consider that senior citizen, but you know, he broke up, fucked up. WWE got the best of him, sucked all his essence out, and took the love of wrestling from CM Punk. And he never got it. Maybe he was right, like running around trying to find it, but I don't think it ever came back. It never came back. And I think CM Punk, I remember he was talking about how dudes are out of touch, and back in the day, they used to be the guys you would go to and talk to. CM Punk is the old head now. CM Punk is the old head. He's out of touch. Don't nobody want to ask him for nothing. These guys are young. They play video games. They on Twitch. They got families. They for the most part, healthy. They're in tune with their mentals. They're in tune with their emotions. They don't mind telling you how they feel. You know, back in the day, you couldn't say what you wanted to say. You couldn't do what you wanted to do. It was locker room etiquette and all kind of court shit and all this old ignorant shit going on. All them wrestlers dead, drugged up, fucked up. You could go watch A&E Legends and see what back in the day looked like. And I think CM Punk is out the fucking loop. And the way he looked at that media conference, he looked out the fucking loop. He looked every bit of hurt, old, and fucking tired. Now, what needs to go forth? Okay, they stripped him of the title. He injured. He out 8 months. He actually needs to go about his business completely. And AEW needs to go back to being the company that could. The little engine that could. The company that grew out of angst and anger from another company that wouldn't give the fans, quote unquote, what they wanted. That's what AEW needs to do. You need to go back to your roots. You got too many fucking wrestlers. You got too many fucking belts. You done took your skeleton crew and kicked them in the ass. Everything is muddled, confused. You bought Ring of Honor for fucking what? What? You got 3 hours of TV. What are you doing? Tony Khan never came off as an executive, as an owner, or anything else other than his daddy's son who would throw money at him and keep him busy. That's all Tony Khan has ever been, from what I've seen thus far these last 3-4 years. And he's shown that. He's shown that he has no control. And he focuses on the wrong shit. While he's in front of the media, your locker room is throwing chairs, getting hit in the eye. Somebody got bit. Motherfuckers assaulting each other. Because you and CM Punk and whoever else you got in the loop want to get everyone, quote unquote, worked up into a shoot so you get the storyline. And don't nobody want to deal with that. Give me the storyline. Too many people have lost out of TV time and progression because of the bullshit y'all got going on. Wardlow got lost in the mix. MJF got lost in the mix. A pay-per-view that y'all said had a couple good matches on it, you could have been talking about that. That got lost in the sauce. Because this motherfucker said Adam Cole went in for business for himself. This guy shut the whole business down. And after he did all that, ate his cupcakes, drank his non-alcoholic beverage, he got up from the table, and Tony Khan was left to pick up the pieces. He took this opportunity, 7-8 fucking years in the making, to get all this shit off his chest. I don't want nobody telling me shit about, oh, it's a shoot. I don't even care. It's a complete fucking turn off, and I'm not interested. I'll come back when y'all got some spectacular shit going on. That's when I'll come back and see what y'all got going on. Okay? CM Punk said, I don't think you're there yet, he told Tony. The first one who got made money. He said, facts are facts, you know. Name 2 people that made the most money off the name CM Punk. He said the first one is Vince McMahon, and the second one is Scott Colton or Colt Cabana. He said, I hope you all have a good night. Please be more responsible with the news you get from certain people, and remember, we're human beings. You're right. You're human, and you're fucking annoying. Okay? I'm tired of CM Punk. I've been tired of CM Punk a long time. Y'all give this man entirely too much grace. But at the end of the day, and I'm going to leave it here, this whole fiasco is Tony Khan's fault. And that'll be something that'll be discussed on another podcast. It's Tony Khan's fault. Nobody else's fault. Tony Khan's fault. I don't give a fuck what CM Punk did. I don't give a fuck what the vice president does. The CEO is the man in charge. It's your fault. The same way everything falls on Vince McMahon, everything falls on CM Punk. Might as well fucking be. I think CM Punk's damn CEO for real. Everything falls on Vince McMahon. Everything falls on Tony Khan. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Later.